This is the official statement. We're gonna kind of give you an idea. We're gonna read it. If you can read it, I'll read it for you. Anyway, it's too small on the screen. Dear clients and partners, we are pleased to announce that as part of the judicial liquidation procedure of Oniri Creations, the assets of the latter have been acquired by Suroka. To this end, it will establish a new company dedicated to this takeover. This new phase marks the beginning of a promising era that is still in the air. With renewed commitment to quality and client satisfaction. We understand the difficulties caused by the recent judicial liquidation of the company. I would say not necessarily the liquidation. The liquidation was just the reality. That was the outcome of the mismanagement of what the company did. It's not that people are upset because they filed bankruptcy. They're upset that they have to get that far. You know, that's when you get to bankruptcy, it's just because they has no choice. We understand difficulties caused by the recent judicial liquidation of the company, affecting many individuals and professional clients who lost their pre-orders. We are determined to rectify the situation, which that's good. At least they're saying that they want to help. License contracts transfers. The creation of the new structure involves transferring license contracts, in this case from Oniri to Suroka, and the new company that's going to be built. We have already contacted the majority of the right holders and are reassured by their willingness to complete their projects so that all clients receive their orders. Okay. However, mandatory legal delays require the signing of these new contracts before any statute imports. Without these licenses, a container arriving in France could be seized and destroyed for copyright infringement. What it means is this, just to give you an idea for those who would like to know exactly what it means here. When a company signs a license or a contract for a license, is that company, is that entity. Well, Oniri Creations no longer exists as we know. The company has been technically terminated. Through the different laws and the procedure that go with when you you file bankruptcy. There's different type of bankruptcies. Of course, I'm not familiar with the bankruptcy laws in France. I am familiar with the bankruptcy laws in America because that's what I did for a living. I work for Oniri Credit, and I work. I handle. I don't do that anymore, but I handle anything that has to do with claims with bankruptcy. So there's different type of bankruptcy types in America, or chapters as we call it. You had what called Chapter 7, which is technically what happened here. Chapter 7 is when a company fully or an individual decides to simply liquidate everything. They say they're unable to pay. The company technically ceases to exist if it's done by a company. And everything has to be sold. All the assets has to be sold so you can pay the creditors and stuff like that. The court handles all of that. There's an appointee to sell whatever the company has and sell it to everybody else. So it appears that the assets of this company were sold out, or they were able to find a buyer to decide to buy the assets and technically buy the debts and able to get everything started again. I'm not sure if they're paying some of those debts or they're just acquiring some of the assets there and they trying to reinitiate the conversations. However, again, what was going is that the license was paid by Oniri Creations. So the contract was done with Oniri Creations. Now, in order to get the license going with the other company that's going to be formed, that's what it says right here. Not Suroka, this company bought this license. I don't know who Suroka is. I don't know if they said that they're going to create a new entity that is going to handle all these things. They have to transfer that license. It's not simply just simply transfer it. You have to create a new contract. And you have to go with, in this case, the licensors for them for their approval. They say, according to this, in their conversations, they are willing to give them the chance. But of course, a contract has to be made and has to be approved, and that takes time. So it's not like they can just simply come back. Action plans for deliveries. Case 1, for clients who have fully paid their orders but not received them, we will endeavor to fulfill your orders at no additional cost. Which that should be the case. They don't have to charge them. They already paid. We will contact you individually by email, which is great. How long that's going to take, who knows. Case 2, for clients reimbursed by Oniri or their bank, we reserve the items for you. That means that people that ultimately fought back to get their money back through their bank or through every retailer they got reimbursed, they're going to give them the chance to reacquire the things that they order. We'll have the opportunity to reorder them as soon as they are available. I'm guessing that they will get email messages to say, hey, if you ordered this, we give you a chance to order it within this window of time. And, you know, there's not going to be anything extra you can order again. Not sure if a lot of people are going to go for it, though, because if you did it to me once, if you do it, you know, if I let you twice, a lot of people are reluctant to let go of the money. So that's going to be a hard sell, that one. Now, case 3, for clients reimbursed by their retailers. We reserve the items for you, and you will have the opportunity to reorder them through them as soon as they are available. Kind of the same case, but it's people that they did not buy directly, but they buy through other companies, through other people. But that requires for the other companies, for the retailers actually to be open to the idea to sell the product. You know, they already put money on it, so they already lost money on it, so they're also in the same boat. Case 4, for orders that cannot be produced due to lack of a license. That means that this goes back to the point that they still need to approve the licenses. They might not get all the licenses. We will offer a credit equal to the amount paid plus 15% of the purchase price to use on our future or current projects, which definitely is not the happy solution in the sense, because people say, well, so in other words, if you don't have the license because you lost it for not being professional about it, because you're not responsible with the monies, you lost it, so you took my money and now you cannot give me my money back. You're going to give me credit to buy? So I know a lot of people are not going to be fully happy with this. Some people may, but a lot of people don't. So that's something that definitely you need to keep in mind. Now, for professional clients, that means the retailers, the companies, they provide the distributors. As each case is unique, we will get back to you, but your deposits will not be lost. Changes in business model. We will end the pre-order and prepayment system. Our production will be funded in advance by our studio, and sales will only occur when the statues are in stock in France. For our international professional clients, part of the stock will remain in Asia, and orders will be shipped from our local warehouses. Now, this is great news. Now, this is something that's very, very good. They know that the likelihood for people to pre-order after everything that happened, after the fiasco that they have gone through, it's very unlikely that people are going to pre-order. But the model that they're following now is that they're going to pay up front before they get people to pre-order. You know, they want to have the product. Once the product is ready to be sold, then they're going to sell it. Now, how sustainable that is very hard. Not many companies follow this model here. Not every company does. It's a very hard bargain and a tough promise to make, because in this market, you don't want to invest millions of dollars into a product that ultimately is going to sit and not sell. So yeah, I think it's more like wishful thinking that that's going to happen. But at least I would say, if you want to have a good impression at first, the first thing that you got to do is you got to do this. You know, you have to not expect people to pre-order this stuff, you know, have the product, and they try to have that model you buy when you have it ready. Would that be a model that other companies will follow in the future? It's very hard to say so. We might see a lot of companies going that, because people are more reluctant nowadays to really buy things just like that. So yeah, it's kind of good. They're gonna have, of course, stock in France, which is where the company sits, but also they're gonna have stock remaining in Asia. And that is for the professional clients, which means for the retailers, they're gonna ship directly, not from France, which adds more cost, because it has to be from Asia, from China to France, and then from France to the different retailers around the world. Of course, that all of that adds to the cost of the product. So they're gonna ship directly from the factories, it makes sense when you're dealing with retailers. Now, regarding former leaders, we have spent a lot of time with them since the acquisition and have listened to their desire to ensure the project's continuity. Contrary to rumors, none have left France on their responsibilities. Our respective lawyers have strongly advised them not to speak publicly, which is why they remain out of the communications. Now, this is kind of bogus in some way, because we don't know who is actually talking here. It's Oniri Creations, or is the new company that is actually making this statement? Have they taken over now the social media because they're making that statement, perhaps? Well, it says Soroka team at the bottom, so it seems that the Soroka team has taken over. But who is the Soroka team? I never heard of Soroka, so I'm not sure if this is a company or the same people, because ultimately these companies are entities. You know, that's the reason why when they build these companies, it's not necessarily a person, it's an entity itself. LLC or something like that. And it might be that there's the same people kind of saying, oh, they're no longer here, but we are the new team. It might be that there's a lot of things here that are on the gray area that it needs a little more information and transparency, because it seems to me that there were a lot of different situations that happened, that perhaps there's also some lawsuits that happened to some individuals there for mismanagement of things. If they're different, whether it's from third parties. I remember when this happened, when they went into the whole thing, there was a lot of talks about, the legal repercussions. They're talking about, there were a couple lawsuits. So I'm sure that there are some people in hot waters, and they say that they have not left France. So that means that people haven't been seen. Perhaps they're hiding somewhere. Who knows? And they say they're not running away from their responsibilities. And the lawyers, that means that they have lawyers representing them. So it's a legal battle going on somewhere in France that I don't know much about, but definitely it's juicy information here. There's something going on there. Now, the commitment and transparency, we're going to read this. We will soon organize a YouTube live with a recognized community influencer. Who knows? They can use any of the big ones for sure. Not sure if it's going to be one in France or one internationally, which in this case is mostly in America. It could be anyone. It could be Rat Titan. It could be Statue, anybody that they feel comfortable with. Anybody that has some pool, and you know how it is sometimes here. They're definitely not gonna call me. They're not gonna call me because I'm a small fish in a big pond. Now, we are committed to rebuilding trust and maintaining the excellence of Oniri Creations. We count on your support and patience during this transition period. We will return very soon with more information, and the establishment of a dedicated email will also be communicated. All right, so this is what happened here. There's still a lot of unknowns. Oniri was doing amazing stuff, at least the projects that they have going. Of course, there's a lot of people that heard about the situation, artists that work there. There was so much hope for this company. Is that going to be the case? There's a lot of unknowns. They released some good pieces, of course, but they left a lot of projects in the air. Only time can tell, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people are completely dissatisfied with this situation, but I will simply say, let's just keep waiting, see what happens. Hopefully there's a good outcome here, but it's in the air. At the moment, it's in the air. We'll see more when the time comes.